Plant-Based, der Podcast von
I was
This is
able to
Vegan.
tap into like, oh yeah, I don't actually feel that good when I eat animal product. This sort of corrupt food system, brainwashing us into thinking certain things. And I really want to stay away from that. So it's kind of the birth of really more of my identity. Who's winning this one, guys? Please welcome David Guetta. I'm hanging out here at the Brit Awards. Hi, I'm Lauren Toyota, and it's a family reunion over here.
Hey und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge vom Plant-Based Podcast. Heute wieder mit einem ganz besonderen Gast und zwar Lauren Toyota. Vielleicht kennt ihr sie eher unter dem Namen Hot for Food. Ja, damit erreicht sie hunderttausende Menschen auf Instagram und darüber hinaus auch auf YouTube und so weiter. Ja, Lauren wohnt mittlerweile in Los Angeles und hat früher bei MTV gearbeitet, hat alle möglichen Promis kennengelernt. Und ja, ich würde sagen, wir sprechen in diesem Podcast genau über diese Erfahrungen, mit wem sie gute Erfahrungen gemacht hat, mit wem eher nicht so, wie sie zur veganen Ernährung bzw. zu Veganismus gefunden hat, was sie genau macht, was ihre Tricks für ihre Rezepte auf Instagram und Co. sind. Ja, ein bisschen haben wir noch über Mental Health gesprochen. Seht's mir nach, an dem Tag ging es mir nicht ganz so gut, aber ich muss durchziehen, weil sie nur eine Woche hier war und der Zeitplan ein bisschen knapp war. Es war ein tolles Event von The Great Vegan Escape, also auch Reisen, vegane Reisen veranstalten die. Checkt das auch unbedingt mal ab. Bevor ich euch jetzt aber mehr erzähle, checkt diese Folge auf Englisch und ich würde sagen, wir gehen rein. Viel Spaß mit Lauren und Hot for Food. Welcome to the new Plant-Based Podcast, one of the first ones in English. We are here in Bali and I have a really beautiful and nice guest. Welcome, Lauren Toyota.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time. You are a blogger. People follow you on Instagram. Finery29 named you as one of the Canadian women killing it, whatever it means. You won the Veg News Award.
Yeah, Veg News, yeah, for the cookbook.
You have done so many things. What did I forget?
Oh, I mean, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't know. I've been doing this for over 10 years now, which is crazy. That's all in the last 10 years. And prior to that, I was a TV host as well in Canada. So I had this like media career in Canada. And I think it gave me a lot of great experience to sort of move in this direction to like get on YouTube. I already knew how to kind of storytell and video edit in that. So it's kind of like a perfect evolution, but it was really that veganism is like what I became passionate about, and I wanted to like do something with more purpose. I was working in music television and kind of just an entertainment reporter, journalist, not even a journalist, like a host. And it was fun. It was my dream job, but it didn't necessarily have like a bigger purpose. And it's been really rewarding to, been named all those things, make cookbooks and like have people actually say, you made me go vegan. You're the reason I'm vegan. Like that to me is so special and awesome. And I just want to make more people obviously turn plant-based and vegan and understand that it's more than just obviously a diet. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, and there's a lot that goes with it. So just like spreading that word is what's important to me. So however I can do that, whatever avenues I can do it and diversify kind of my business and my offerings, that's like, I've been so fortunate to do that.
Okay, it sounds like you're passionate with veganism.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. How did you get vegan? What was the reason why you got vegan?
It was about 2009. I had already kind of lost my television job for about just under a year. Remember the 2008 recession? So I lost my job and it was like really this space in time for me to reassess things. The way I felt became pretty important. I finally was able to tap into like, oh yeah, I don't actually feel that good when I eat animal products. A documentary called Food Inc. came out. That was the one that just made me go, oh yeah, like I don't want to be part of this system, this sort of corrupt food system that's brainwashing us into thinking certain things are good for us. And I really was having like the omnivore's dilemma, which was the name of the book that Michael Pollan wrote that was around that same time as Food Inc. So I just was like, I'm truly having an omnivore's dilemma, but I know I want to go vegan. And so I just started, that documentary is what motivated me. And then I, over a couple of months, just took one thing out of my diet at a time and started the blog just as a way for me to document what I was doing and give me kind of a way to be accountable to something. I mean, I didn't think anyone would really read it, but then they did, and I started making my own recipe. So that's kind of where that started at the same time as going vegan.
Now it's growing up and growing up and growing up, and yeah, you can live with your passion.
Yeah.
And please tell me what was the reason you thought about? I switched my. You said okay, your job was over, and you thought about
right.
What can I do then? But why content creation or what consciousness or what?
Yeah.
Part?
Well, that was just what gave me a space in my life at that time to go vegan. And then I actually went back into television. Once it was by 2010, I got another television job. So I was vegan, but I kind of kept it quiet. It felt like very socially taboo to be vegan. I didn't like all of the questions. I wasn't really like an out vegan. I was pretty shy about having the conversations about animal agriculture because I just didn't feel as super educated. I didn't necessarily feel like I was armed with all of the information. Like, even though I felt it was wrong and I knew, a lot of the stuff going on in the food industry, it just felt like very exhausting to have to talk about that all the time. I got back into music television, continued on with that sort of career path, and sort of stayed like closeted as a vegan. But there was this turning point in my television career in 2014 where I was given this, again, I was working for this channel that it was we had a lot of freedom to make the content that we wanted. And I did this sort of documentary episode for MTV News because I worked for MTV Canada at the time. That was going to be me going further into animal activism. So it was like, I eat vegan, but I'm not a full-fledged vegan truly. Like, I hadn't changed all my products, my clothing. And I was really afraid of like the activism side of it because there's like that stereotype of the angry vegan. Yeah. And I really wanted to stay away from that. But in this thing that I explored and documented for the show, I went and did the Toronto Pig Save, like bearing witness thing. I went to an anti-fur protest. I went to a farm sanctuary. And it was really the first time, even having been vegan for over 4 years, where I exposed myself to more of the community like that. And then that kind of ignited more within me, again, to sort of be vocal now. Also really understand that my activism was with food and content. Like, how can I spread the message, but the way that I'm comfortable with and the way that speaks to me creatively? Like, cause it always felt like, oh, if you're not protesting, you're not a true vegan, right? But that's really not true. And so it was, for me, I really had to sort of find my own way, to find my own voice in the community, and realize I can do activism through food and recipes. So it was kind of the birth of really more of my identity, more of the identity of what I wanted Hot for Food to really represent. And that was the same year that I kind of rebranded or relaunched my blog as like a proper looking blog. I actually put more time into making it look nice and like started to understand a little bit more about monetizing a blog at that point. And then again, not by coincidence, I ended up losing my television job again that year, 2014. So it was a perfect way for me to just step fully into being Lauren Toyota of Hot for Food and just working on that full time and trying to figure out how to scale it, trying to figure out different income streams to actually be a full-time entrepreneur and content creator. Content really just made sense because I came from media and television, right? So it was like the language that I spoke, like I visualized in video, and I loved taking food photos. And so it was just like that medium for me made sense. And then it really just started taking off from there because I got on YouTube once I lost my television job. And that's where I was able to find, again, like this space where you can do whatever you want. And in contrast to my television job, where there's so many rules, there's so much bureaucracy about what can and can't go on the air, here I am making my own TV show, basically, getting to do whatever I want. And that was really freeing and really inspiring creatively too, world. And are you going to have fun? Have fun doing it first and think about the money second. I was in a bit of like a situation where I didn't have a job, so I had to figure out how to make this my job. And it took some time. It wasn't like an overnight thing. I had to just post consistently and worry about what it was I was creating and not worry about if it's going to get views. Yeah. And it sounds simple to just be like, if you do what you love, the money will come. I think like Oprah says that, do what you love and the money will come. And I'm not like making tons and tons of money, but I'm able to sustain a business for 10 years and, live a good life and have it be my job. So I feel lucky and fortunate that I'm able to do that. And I think it can also go away very quickly. Like, I don't think it's necessarily something that I look at like, oh, I've made it or something. Like, I've never felt that way. It feels like I always have to pivot or evolve all the time as I'm doing this, especially because social media changes now even faster than it used to. It's like right when I thought I understood how to create content and what worked, it was like, no, you have to change it. It's like the length of a video, whatever becomes more popular, the shorter, then the longer, you know what I mean? Certain trends or editing styles. So I've never paid too close attention to that, but it does feel like right when you think you've got it figured out, you're going to have to change. So you have to be very adaptable, I think. You have to sort of, to a degree, observe what's going on in the space, but really also at the end of the day, come back to like what it is you actually feel passionate about and what you want to do. Like, don't just do something because it's popular. Do something because it truly speaks to you. I think that's just been my thing, where it feels the best to make content when I'm doing that. But I think the main tip is just really consistency. Like, if you want to get into it, then just start posting. Like, you can't second guess yourself. You can't get it perfect before you do it. You just have to like throw it out there, adjust as you go. But really talking about it and thinking about it too much doesn't help. You should just go for it. Okay. Yeah. And it evolves as you go.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
Same with us. Sometimes I was always thinking, oh, what can I post? And then I just started to do every day. I with no overthinking.
Yeah, no overthinking. No overthinking, yeah.
Now you have to understand the social media platform and everything, but also you just have to do what you love, and you also love like cooking, and you have done many cooking books also, classes and all of this. What was the reason for you to show like recipes? You want to inform like the people how to do vegan lives?
Yeah.
Or what was it?
Yeah, I felt like when I went vegan, there was a bit of like a bunch of misconceptions as to what it looked like to eat vegan. Again, you can be vegan and be unhealthy and eat junk food. You can be vegan and eat just raw food. And when I first entered the space, 2009, 2010, it was very raw food heavy, which didn't really appeal to me actually. And I thought, is this what it's going to be like to be vegan? Like, I'm going to get so sick of this. But it felt like that was what was out there. So I really felt like once it clued in that I could make stuff or figure out how to make stuff that I used to eat as an omnivore and figure out how to make it vegan and tasty and creamy and indulgent and really be reminiscent of the food people love and remember, because it's so nostalgic and emotional. So for me, it was like, just as a personal selfish reason, like I need to relive those food moments. I was such a foodie and I didn't want to feel like I was missing out on something. And I really wanted to show people that you can go vegan or plant-based without sacrificing all the things that you love. There's just different ways to make them. So that's what I started doing right away for my own, like, cause I wanted certain foods that I wasn't finding. So that's where I started recipe developing and just trial and error and just making stuff. I think I've always had like a bit of, I guess, a natural proclivity to cooking. Like, it wasn't completely foreign to me. I cooked all growing up and baked with my grandma. I saw my mom cooking a lot of our meals. So I think that does just sort of inform you and doesn't make you afraid to cook when you grow up with it. But now I mean, it's not like I always knew what I was doing. I think I had some natural ability and a lot of it's come and gotten better, and I've become more skilled over the last 10 years for sure. Even when I look back at my first cookbook, I'm like, there's so many things I would change about it. But, you know, it represents a place and time and where I was at the time. Yeah, but I just wanted to show people that they can eat what they love, no sacrifice. The way to do that is to empower yourself with learning how to cook. So that's what I taught on YouTube, how to cook. I taught a lot of like basic skills stuff, but like mixing spices. I taught a lot of baking stuff as well, which doesn't come naturally for people. So I like baking actually. Yeah.
You get so many tips on YouTube and in your books. All of this. But what I ask myself, you cook so many things every day. You have seen so many recipes, even here in Indonesia and all over the world. Is there one thing you can say? What is your absolutely favorite dish and recipe?
It's very hard, but I think like my go-to, because it's what I want to try every time I go out to a new restaurant, mac and cheese. It's like, it reminds me of childhood. It reminds me of college. Like, it just has so many memories. And I think there's so many different ways to make mac and cheese. And it's one of those things that people who aren't vegan do not think that you could possibly make it vegan and have it be really good. So I like to prove people wrong and say, no, like you can have it be creamy and gooey and cheesy and create that like tanginess with other things. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's actually, as basic as it may seem, there's actually like a bit of chemistry to it to make it good.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Ey, kurze Bitte, wenn dir diese Folge und der Podcast gefallen, lass gerne ein Abo da, lass einen Kommentar da, schick ihn an all deine Freunde und jetzt viel Spaß beim Weiterschauen.
Great so far. Talked before, we talked much about veganism and recipes and stuff, but we also talked that you have been a TV host.
Yeah.
Also for MTV, and I've seen on YouTube you have like interviews with, I know, it was Justin Bieber, right?
Justin Bieber. Yeah.
And there was one interview which is in my mind, which is so funny. It was Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog. I knew you were going to say Kermit.
Kermit. So as a vegan, I love animals for sure. What was the most impressive interview for you?
I mean, Kermit was certainly up there, which is why I put it on the internet, because I think for everybody, they remember Kermit the Frog as a kid, right? And you don't really realize it's a puppet even. Like, even though I'm interviewing him and the puppet master person is puppeteer is right there, you don't even notice. You're so fixated on it being Kermit. And it was quite amazing how he's able to improvise the dialogue in the moment, in a real interview. Like, it's not rehearsed. So really, that was probably one of the best ones. I think another interesting one might just be Kanye West, because it was very memorable, and it was, you know, we've seen all the different versions of Kanye now. When I interviewed him in 2008, it hadn't escalated to quite such extremes. So I was actually able to have like a kind of normal conversation with this person who at the time artistically everybody really admired. And he has some of the same qualities. Like, I remember him being very childlike, very like ADHD creative type, like you know, who Kanye actually is. But yeah, just that's a very memorable one for me because he's such a big artist. And Lady Gaga, actually. Lady Gaga was very cool. And she was someone that I wasn't necessarily a fan of until I had to do the research and go to her concert before I interviewed her. And I fell in love with her at the concert because she is truly amazing and it's such a good show. And you see how hard she works and how much she cares about her fans and stuff. So I grew a respect for her just as an artist, not really knowing a lot about her or her music at the time. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool that you say this. And Kanye, in my mind, he's like a genius, but now some things go on the not so good way.
Yeah, I mean, with genius sometimes comes sort of like the crazy, right? Or the mental health issues. So it's very obvious, but it hadn't become so obvious at that time when I talked to him. Yeah.
And I was a former event manager, like years ago, and I made some TV shows and stuff. And I met some people, not so famous like you, but one person you interviewed, I met too, and I made a concert with him, and it was Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah.
And I've never seen a person which was so out of his mind. He was really nice.
He's very kind.
Really kind person, but but he was so. So out of the sphere. And the other person, which was in my mind, which was really nice, was Rihanna. I made a concert. I wouldn't have done it anymore, but and she was so cute, so kind, and so adorable to the staff and to everyone. She's like this part of superstar. Yeah. But she's so kind to everyone that are like normal people.
I mean, that was always nice that was always nice when I noticed that, like, cause we used to work in a studio too. So sometimes the artists would be there all day rehearsing their music before the show. And like, anytime they act normal and are kind to everybody around them, of course, that's the best case scenario and you remember it. And then, if people are I always hated if people had attitude, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a part we don't talk about because better not. But let's get back to why we are here. We are in Bali at the sun and everything.
I know, I've never done an interview in Bali, so this is the first time.
Maybe next time when you come here, we do a second one. Yeah. Why are you here in Bali? Are you here on vacation or what are you doing?
It might look like I'm here on vacation, but in fact, I partner with a vegan travel company called The Getaway Co. And it is founded and run by one of my best friends, Amanda Percy. So we know each other from Canada and we both worked in the music industry. When I worked in television, she worked at a record label. So we worked in the same scene and I went vegan well before her, but once she started becoming very passionate about veganism and moved into that, she of course had that same longing to want to bring veganism to like her career, to be able to fuse these two worlds together. So through her career path, she found her way to Bali doing these digital nomad retreats with a tech company, like a tech startup billionaire type guy. So she became very familiar with Bali, very familiar with like how to run group trips. Simultaneously, I was getting approached by other vegan travel companies asking if I would host and sell different vegan trips around the world, which I definitely wanted to do, but I didn't know these people. So it really felt like, how can I trust them? Like, I'm not just going to do it for money. I want to make sure that it's like a truly good trip, you know? And so it really was like kind of a manifestation for the two of us, like wanting to do this thing happening at the same time. And we had this lunch meeting once in the summer of 2018, and we just both told each other what was going on in our lives. And she had talked about coming back from Bali and all this. I told her, well, and she said she wanted to start a travel company to do group travel, but make it vegan. And I was like, well, that's funny because I'm getting approached by this company that I think it's great, but I don't necessarily trust to work with them. And we're like, well, why don't we just do this? So she basically just started the company from this meeting, and we decided I was going to host the first getaway in Bali. This was scheduled for like May or June of 2019. So it took less than a year to like plan it and launch it and sell it. And the response was amazing. You know, I wasn't sure. Yes, I had a big social media following. They had bought my cookbooks and followed me on YouTube, but you don't know if you say, hey, come to Bali and spend this money on a trip and a flight, like if people are really going to do it. Like I just wasn't sure. And we got so much response. We had like 150 plus applications. We were taking applications at the time because we thought, let's kind of pre-qualify people, like if we get a lot of response. So Amanda ended up interviewing every single person to decide if they should come. It doesn't work that way now. Now you sign up, you pay a deposit, you automatically come because the demand is so high. But anyway, nonetheless, it was very successful and the response was so positive right away. And then that first trip was so magical. We actually stayed in Ubud that first time. Now we're in Canggu. But that was the start of it. And then from there, I went on to host other places like Portugal and Italy. And I mean, I don't do any of the work. I sell them on my social media and I talk about them and I go on the trip and I hang out with everybody. And the big thing is to try to like foster community and bring people together to feel like they're part of a community, because usually when you're a vegan, you're so isolated with your family and friends. What we hear all the time from our guests and participants is that, oh, I don't have vegan friends to eat vegan food with, and my family won't go vegan. So I feel like, you know, I'm always they're not catering to me. So they feel very lonely, and they come on these trips and they make friends. And we've got groups of people that meet now on their own around the world in different spots. They go to each other's weddings. So like, that's what we both wanted to create. So I'm the marketing driver. Amanda does all the logistics. I don't do any of the logistics. She's so hardworking. She pulls it all together. She's got locals in every country that we visit that help put the itineraries together to create really authentic experiences that explore the culture. And sometimes we even go, not in Bali particularly, but like in Morocco, we went and had a group dinner at a family home. Like our local guide brought her to her family's home for dinner and they cooked for us. So, I mean, you don't typically get that kind of experience on just like a Kontiki tour or whatever, right? Like, and this is very curated and it's all vegan. And we try to create like this safe environment for people who are vegan or even just veg curious. You know, you don't have to be vegan to come on the trip, but you have to be willing to be vegan for the duration of the trip and be part of the community, right?
That sounds amazing. Even if you're vegetarian,
yeah.
Maybe after the trip you see so many like-minded
exactly.
people, and then you eat a good food, and then
yeah, because it's all about planting those seeds. So, you know, it's no judgment, and we have some vegetarians on this trip, and we always do. Or sometimes it'll be like one of the partners in a couple, like one of them's vegan and the other one's not. It plants those seeds, and we have all kinds of conversations. Not because we're trying to push a message. They just happen organically because you are around people that all generally think about animal welfare, you know? So cool. It's amazing.
That sounds great. So next year I will join. I really want to join.
Well, it was great you came just today because we did this lunch to help Bawa, the local animal rescue. Yeah.
Actually, what is Bawa? We have actually we have a short interview with Bawa.
Oh, good.
You will see it the next weeks on YouTube.
There you go.
But if you want to say shortly what Bawa is and what we've done here.
Yeah, well, if you come to Bali, you'll see there's always like street dogs and cats on the street, and it's just part of the culture. But Bawa does ensure that these animals are either getting rescued if they're injured and rehabilitated and then adopted, or doing vaccinations and like clinics around the city, and generally just trying to take care of primarily the street dogs and cats. Every time we do a trip, we try to do something either with a sanctuary or an animal welfare association or organization organization to sort of give back, right? As vegans, we do want to make sure that these places we're visiting, like, of course, we can't ensure that like everything we do is like absolutely vegan. Like, for instance, in Bali, when you go to the temples, sometimes there's chickens being slaughtered. We do make sure that if we know in advance if that's happening, or we don't go to the area of the temple where that's happening. So that, again, we do our best to not kind of come face to face with some of these things that are culturally significant where we are, just because we're all sensitive to it. But anyways, with Bawa, at least we're able to have this lunch day where we can give donations back, and we host it and open it to the public, not just our guests, just so that we spread awareness about what they're doing here with the animals and the dogs. And the dogs that were here today were up for adoption. And I really want to take one back, but it's a little bit of a process to get them to the United States.
I've seen you before with the dogs, and we will show you some of the pictures later. I think you will take one.
You think I will take one?
I don't know.
I wish I could. It's so hard, right? Because we always want to save every single animal, and it's so heartbreaking. Like, they left today already, and we're like, oh no.
But I think events like this are so important to show awareness and spread like this, what's going on with the animals here and adoption. And, On the end of the podcast, we have 3 questions.
Okay.
It would be cool. It's like a little mind game.
Okay.
If you
like word association?
No, not like this. It's just prepare yourself and think about you want to go into politics for one day. You can change everything you want, but just one thing. What would you change?
I think I would change no testing on animals. Yeah, just eradicate that. And then it all gets figured out. It's all fine. Yeah, it's like magic. Okay, yeah. It just gets snap my fingers out. Okay. Because I'm sure there's like so many things that need to be figured out, obviously, but that would be one. I think that's what I'd get rid of. I guess I could say like the whole world goes vegan, but that seems unrealistic. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm going to stick with the animal testing.
Okay. That's a good part. Then I do the other stuff. Everyone should go vegan.
Right.
Okay. Next game, you have the opportunity to invite 3 famous people. Everyone you want to vegan dinner. Who would you like to invite, and why, and what do you give them to food?
Oh, goodness. Okay. I always say Oprah would come to my dinner because I just love Oprah. She loves food. She did do a 21-day vegan challenge back in the day on her Oprah Winfrey show. She had Tal Ronan from California be her personal chef for 21 days, and she made her whole staff do it. So I feel like, again, she's got a seed planted. She does like to eat healthy, but I could show her how to eat like her favorite comfort food, vegan, right? I would probably feed them like some kind of like Southern American comfort food. Like I said, like mac and cheese, sweet potato pie type stuff, collard greens, cornbread, like that kind of thing, like American Southern comfort food. 2 more people, you say? Maybe? Oh, God. This is hard. Who's not vegan? Obama? Barack Obama? You know, I like the actor Paul Rudd. I don't know. I just like him. I don't think he can change the world, but I think he'd be fun to have at the dinner.
And one thing we have on Spotify, we have our plant-based playlist for the podcast. Every one of my guests has the opportunity to do 2 songs on the list. With like a personal story to each song. Which would you like to take there?
Oh, goodness. I get to add 2 songs to your playlist?
Yes, every genre.
Oh my God. Okay, Phil Collins, Another Day in Paradise, because that represents Bali to me, actually, and we're in Bali, and the story behind that is the first time I came here in 2019 with the Getaway Co. We did the hike up Mount Batur volcano, and it was very challenging. I did it on this trip. It definitely felt easier having done it before. But halfway through, we got to the midway point where it's like a bit of a flat thing. You think you're done, but you're not. You look all the way up and you see everyone still climbing. And someone had a backpack with a speaker and they were playing Phil Collins, Another Day in Paradise. And I was having a meltdown. I was crying like, oh my God, I don't want to keep going. And then I heard that because I love Phil Collins. And I was like, okay, it's a sign. I have to keep going. And it made me just do the rest of the hike. Have you done this hike?
Not now.
Oh, you're going to have to do it. You go in the middle of the night. It's dark and okay. So now you can listen to that too. You can. So that, and the second one, I want to pick like someone who's actually vegan. Who's vegan musician? Moby. I don't know if I like Moby songs. I'm sure Billie Eilish is already on here. I don't have a story though for her. crap, who? Can we put Kendrick Lamar, They Not Like Us, which I know is a Drake diss track, but it's kind of like, it's a rally cry for any group that feels like, you know, they not like us, like the vegans. They're not like, you know what I mean? You're not like us. Yeah. Like kind of a rally cry. Okay. So that's what I'll put that on there.
Cool. I will put it on the playlist. What can we expect from you in future? What are your plans? Is there something where you can give a short hint, which no one knows maybe?
Well, I mean, I'm not working on a cookbook or anything right now. I'm kind of this year started, I had a child 2.5 years ago. So that has been a full, you know, my world's flipped upside down because of that. So creatively, I got really burnt out. So content creation, I sort of slowed down on. This year, I decided to sort of put myself out as a chef for hire. So I've been doing kind of private events in LA and actually all over the place. People have flown me in for private dinners and stuff a few times. So I'd like to build that out. Okay. So I have on my site now, you can, you know, no matter where you live, obviously you'd have to pay to bring me to wherever you live, but locally and elsewhere, I am available to do private events and personal chef stuff. So, or cooking classes or private cooking classes, or, you know, someone asked me the other day, I couldn't do it because I was in Bali. They wanted me to cater their baby shower. Any kind of inquiry, like I'm kind of making it an open call to people, and we can customize whatever you'd like, and I'll serve you hot for food, you know, famous recipes. I really just wanted to be in the kitchen, get my hands dirty, feed my food to people and not be stuck behind a camera kind of, you know. So that's sort of the direction I'm wanting to expand into for the next foreseeable future anyways.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we are looking forward to see this.
Thank you.
We accept donations that we can take her as a local chef. So if you want to send.
Yeah, because we can do like a magazine event for you. But maybe, yeah, we have to.
Next year, this is vegan event with Lauren. We really hope to.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. Thanks, Yannick.
Thank you for taking your time.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Hey, ich bin's nochmal ganz kurz aus dem Off. Ich fand's richtig nice, den Austausch mit Lauren. Cool, wie sie für ihre Werte einsteht, wie sie das macht, mit was für einer Liebe und Passion sie kocht, backt und ja, das auch nach außen trägt. Das heißt, ich habe es gehört, wenn ihr eine Privatköchin braucht, könnt ihr sie auch anschreiben. Fand es echt einen schönen Austausch, wie ich am Anfang gesagt habe. Mir ging es nicht ganz so gut an dem Tag, aber ich habe gedacht, ich ziehe es durch, habe es zum Glück auch gemacht. War eine tolle Chance. Ich hoffe, dass ich sie bald mal wieder treffe, wenn sie hier nach Bali kommt oder sonst irgendwo auf der Welt. Folgt ihr auf allen Channels, checkt auch The Great Vegan Escape, falls ihr Reisen, Retreats oder ähnliches machen wollt. Mit denen war sie nämlich da und es war auch eine echt tolle Sache. Ich habe es auch gesehen, Baba war auch wieder am Start. Kennt ihr vielleicht aus einer der älteren Folgen oder aus einer der letzten Folgen, wo ich mit Manuel war, Manuel Bergmann, die hier ja Hundeadoptionen machen, Tierschutz allgemein. Und ja, die waren da auch und auch ihr Umgang, wie sie mit den Tieren umgegangen ist, den Welpen und so weiter. Man sieht wirklich, sie hat ein Herz für Tiere und möchte das auch nach außen tragen. Wenn euch die Folge gefallen hat, lasst ein Abo da, lasst Kommentare da, lasst eine Bewertung da, schickt sie an alle eure Freunde und vielen Dank. Bis zum nächsten Mal, euer Yannick. Ciao, ciao.